Coach, you lost 3 starters on the defensive front. It's a very talented group, though. What are you seeing from their continued development in there?
Yeah, I think we got some young guys ready to take the next step. Really excited with what some of those guys are doing. I think Justin Matabuki has really improved his game. Looking for him to become a dominant factor for us. And then, guys like Trey Brown, Peavy, Michael Clements getting in there, Tyree Johnson developing, and then behind them, Max Wright, Marvin Leal. I think we've got some really talented players up there. We just need them to continue to take the next step to get them where we need to go.
Stay on the right in the front with Brent.
One of your guys mentioned last week that they had a little trouble, or there was a little slow in the buy-in with you. But once they did buy in, there was a big difference in how they performed. Did you see that as well last year as it pressed on?
I don't know that I would quite word it like that. I think everything was different. I think the way we want to play defense, the things we were asking them to do, the commitment we were asking from them week in, week out from a game plan standpoint, I don't know that necessarily they were consciously not buying in. I think it just took a little while for it to all come together. I think our kids started to realize as the year went on, if we do this thing the right way together, we could be really, really successful. And I just think that's the natural progression of kind of going from where we were to where we want to be as a group and as a defense. So I certainly saw the development. I don't know that there was that conscious non-buy-in, but I think certainly we started to play things more the way we wanted to as the year went on.
To the left side to Zach.
Coach, your name was mentioned in a lot of head coaching searches this past offseason. What is it about A&M that you feel this program is going somewhere and you want to be a part of?
What isn't about it? Love the school, love everything that it stands for, love Coach Fisher, the program he's building, love the guys we have in the locker room, love the guys we brought in, love the community, love the fan base. This place is special, and I think making the decision to come down here, making the decision to stay, I think everything in that regard has kind of backed that up.
Go to the right to Leah.
Hey,
Hi, Leah. How are you?
Last year, we asked you about the wrecking crew.
You did.
What do you think has to happen in 2019 and in future years as well in order to get back to that elite level of defensive play?
Yeah, I think we have to keep buying into playing defense relentlessly, being physical, playing as a group, doing the things that we're asking them to do consistently, play in, play out. I think at moments last year, we played dominating football. We did not consistently do that. And there were too many lapses from game to game, within games, that cost us. I think if we can consistently play at our highest level, I think we're capable of putting a pretty good product out there.
We'll go to Gabe, and then Alex, and then Cease.
I want to ask you how Buddy Johnson's coming along and Anthony Hines, too, off the injury.
Yeah.
Where are they as your potential probable starters at linebacker?
Yeah, but Buddy Johnson has been one of the kids in our defense to make the biggest jump in every aspect of his life. How he's going about his business, how he's preparing, how he's taking care of his body. He just, I don't ever want to use the term night and day, but it's almost night and day as a player and as a person in our program. And so we're real happy with where he is, kind of stepping into a vocal leadership role in the middle of that defense. He's done some really, really nice things. He's got to continue to do it. Anthony Hines is coming back from not playing football for a really long time. And so, him and I had talked a lot this summer about what that would be like for him. I think he has kind of experienced some of those ups and downs. But I think over the last 3-4 practices, he started to get his feet underneath him to where he's starting to see himself become the player that he's used to seeing when he puts the film on. And that's always hard when you go so long without playing. You just kind of expect it to come right back, and it never does. But he's working, he's progressing, and we're happy with where he's at.
To the left side with Alex.
Hey, Coach. What can we kind of expect to see from Michael Clements this season, and how have you seen him emerge after having to sit out last season?
Yeah, he's obviously healthy. He's hungry. I think he's ready to get back at it. I think he brings a physical piece to the edge of our defense that we're real excited about. He's been a very physical presence for us in camp, but he also has the ability to rush the passer coming off that field edge a little bit. And so we're just hoping he kind of steps back into that role and continues to play great football for us.
Go right next to him is Sheehan.
Hey, Coach. When it comes to Des Marvin Leal, how close is he, do you think, to really contributing on this level? What does he need to improve, and what have you kind of seen from him since he's been on campus?
Yeah, I've seen a player who is extremely talented. I've seen a big human being who moves very effortlessly. We're real excited about his future. We don't want to, put timetables on him or force him into anything, but he is an extremely talented football player that is going to play a major role for us really, really soon in this defense. We're real happy with Marv.
We'll go to Suzanne, then TV, and then Cease.
I was looking at your stats last year, and you all made a tremendous leap in run defense.
Yep.
But your pass defense was not, I would assume, what you would want it to
Sure.
be. So what do you think was fixable? I mean, what has kept you up, and what do you want to fix out of it?
Everything keeps you up. But, what is fixable? I think when obviously that was a huge off-season study for us. We wanted to really dive in and see where the issues were, what we could do better, how we could coach it better, how we could play better, all of it. From scheme to coaching to personnel, we kind of reevaluated all of it. And I think our pass breakdowns came in so many different ways, from losing leverage on short throws that became long throws to not defending the deep ball to jet sweep runs that were counted as passing yards that we gave up too many of those too. So I guess to shorten your question, very fixable, a huge part of emphasis for us this offseason, and I think you'll see a much better product in the fall.
Go all the way to Mike in the back and then under the lights.
To kind of piggyback off of that, how much development and progress have you seen from the secondary, and are there guys in specific that have really stood out that maybe weren't expecting to before camp?
Yeah, I think tremendous amount of development. I think a lot of those guys have a lot of pride in how they play the game of football. And so none of us were tremendously excited with how that played out last year. And so I think all the names that you know, right? Renfro, Jones, Oliver, those guys have made big strides in the corner room. I think Derek Tucker has taken a step. I think Keldrick Carper has taken a step. I think those guys have moved into the right direction. And then, some of the influx of new guys has added some talent to that group, and we're certainly excited about what they can do. And that's kind of created some competition in the room, which I think elevates everybody's level and everybody's game. So I think that whole group as a whole has kind of stepped forward, and we're looking forward to it this fall.
On your left, Cease.
Two parts, if I could, Coach. When you self-evaluated last year, how much you blitzed, is that normal? Would you like to blitz more? And how do you create more than 11 turnovers?
Yeah, so kind of twofold. One, I think we never really have a plan on blitz. I think we look at each offense and we kind of try to decide how we want to attack them. We want to create disruption. I mean, that's a big part of, I think, defensive football. Disruption in the run game and disruption on the quarterback. And so at times that requires more blitz, at times it doesn't. We don't really put percentages on that. In terms of causing more turnovers, I think we have to disrupt the quarterback more. I think we've got to get in his face more and make it uncomfortable for him more. I think that'll create some more bad decisions. We've got to attack the football better. When the running backs get it and get it loose, we've got to do a better job attacking it. And I think a lot of that stuff comes in the next progression of your defense. I think at times last year, new scheme, new players, I think there's a lot of, just kind of trying to make sure I'm doing this defense the way I want. I think the next step is those fundamentals, tackle better, create more turnovers, be more disruptive on the football. And so that's been a huge emphasis for us through spring into fall. We're starting to see some more. Hopefully that transitions into the fall.
We'll go to the right to Gabe and then finish with Sam on your left.
How pleased have you been with how the depth's coming along at linebacker? You got old walk-ons, you got some medium-aged guys that are trying to fight for spots, and then some young guys too battling.
Yeah, I think it's an everyday process that we're trying to get young guys that to get them ready to go. We have that group of walk-ons that we're very comfortable with, that can run the defense at a high level, that know everything they're doing. So I think that's an ongoing process for us. But we're happy with where it's at. I think we will be able to put together a good linebacking core this fall.
On your left, Sam.
Mike, I'm curious, as the game's evolved over the last decade, is there a particular position on defense that you found most difficult to recruit to find guys to play it naturally?
Maybe at previous stops. I think here, with everything that we have, with the resources we have, with the momentum for this program and what people are talking about and how they're talking about this program, no. I think we have the ability to go out and get what we need. I think, maybe some of it we have to look in different places of the country, but I think by and large, this place allows us to attract exactly what we're looking for at every position.